Hello, everyone. Welcome to this beautiful day, this beautiful video here. We're going to be covering the Holy Land War. We're going to be sharing a unbiased tarot reading. We're going to ask the spirit world. We're going to ask our guides through to speak through the tarot, and we're going to deliver the esoteric truth of what is happening in the Holy Land. So please comment and subscribe and like, and let's get started. So let's consult the cards here.
Hmm?
Yeah.
And just so you know, we're not aware 100% of everything that's going on, all the facts. We just speculate on spiritual energy surrounding. So just keep that in mind as we dive in. So where should we start? What should we look at first? What topic?
I think we should just do it in general. We should start with the general.
General theme of what's going on, like behind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I got the Eight of Swords. Now, I think that this is obvious to anyone who sees the picture that it's coming from a place of blindness and lack of ability to move. Like both sides seem like they don't really know how to act, so they're fighting. Like this is the energy behind it, like blindness and feeling trapped. So um there's a lot of fear here, a lot of fear on both sides, and it's motivated by that fear of lack of control and that lack of knowledge of what they're doing, and what's really going on. And also, I think a lot of things are hidden from us in general. Like this is a very like a lot of information that's being shared to us is mainly about the deaths and who's doing the killing of whom, and it's there's a lot of stuff that's not put out there for us to see and to understand as to why these things are being done. We just hear about the mass deaths and the numbers and the people doing it, and we don't really know why it's going on. And I think that's part of all of this is it's based on lack of understanding, mistrust, fear. What do you think? What card did you pull, or how would you interpret this card, or what
I
do you want
pulled
to?
the Nine of Swords. So we're
Oh,
having a lot of Martian energy here. We're having a lot of cruelty, pain, despair. I think that there is um, a depth that's coming out because you're having this Gemini, this Mercurian energy. You're able to see that um, the things in the shadow that are coming to surface here. It's also called, this card is associated with it's called the City of the Dreadful Night. So it's the Cathedral of the Dam. There's this thing. It's like a very deadly dark energy of the mind. So I think the number nine is sacred and attains to the summit of perfection. It's also attributed to Usad, the double excursion into misfortune. So I feel this is a very unfortunate situation that it is, yeah. So
yeah.
a lot of darkness, shame, guilt, things surfacing.
It's interesting that it's like I pulled Eight of Swords, you pulled Nine of Swords. So, swords is related to the element of air, which is related to intellect, and they're both usually they're negative cards with regards to the intellect. So it's a lot of misunderstanding on both sides, like a lot of just lack of knowledge or awareness. Like it seems to be what's fueling this rage. And I think if both sides were more informed on things, that there would be a lot of less, gore, gruesome going on right now. But it's interesting. We got two cards right next to each other in the minor arcana, back to back. That's interesting.
It is interesting. I think there's also an energy of an energetic loop where there's a lot of negativity that's cycling through people's minds over and over and over again. This is a long seated tension in that region that is cycling itself through. A lot of karmic, a lot of stuff, a lot of those Martian energies that humanity is moving past, and this karma is working itself out.
Hmm.
I would say it's also Hmm. Yeah, it's also an illusory. As you can see, it's like they've awoken from their sleep. There's a Yasadian lunar energy too that's adding to this. So there's a passivity that allows Mars to dominate. So there's something in the psyche of the people in the Holy Land that is uh, bringing this. There's an illusionatory thing. So I don't feel like what's on TV or what's being talked about is really the precision of what's actually happening. And I think people's fears are um, embedded with the negative side of the lunar influence, and there's a lot of air energy, a lot of air energy, a lot of things that aren't constant, that are constantly moving, a lot of spinning of the mind. So, and there's an allowance for Mars to dominate and take too much predominance for Mars to become an angle in this energy in the Holy Land at this time.
Yeah. So, what topic should we look at next? We have a theme here, the with this 8 and 9 of swords. How about question of where this is headed and like what to expect in the coming months?
Also, I did want to say some good stones for, if you're thinking about the Holy Land a lot, you're involved. A good antidote to this kind of 8 and 9 of swords is lepidolite is a good stone that helps with depression, self-harm kind of energies that's happening in the region. It'll balance mental, emotional trauma imbalances. So that's a good one, as well as citrine, restructuring old energy patterns, bringing light to a situation, reducing stress. So rose quartz, hematite, get some crystals. A good affirmation also I want to encourage people to say is I love and accept myself. I trust in the natural flow in life to bring me all that supports me. A lot of the fears that are happening right now, some of them are real or some of them are illusory. Remember that, yeah, life is happening through you, not to you. Let's continue. So the next question, why don't we ask about
Next few months, or do you want to talk about something else?
yeah, let's ask about the future, the next few months here.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that topic. Call upon the archangels, force consciousness. So, coming, okay, so I was thinking 4 to 6 months or so. We have the Tower card.
Mm.
So, you can expect this is a war, and wars are catastrophic. They're disastrous. There's mass death, and there's already been mass death, and it looks like they are no closer to a solution at this time. I don't know. I don't want to, depress our viewers, but it just seems like this might continue for another few months. The kind of hearing on TV, the horrible deaths. Every death is one death is too many, and every person that dies has a story. And it's like we don't know the story. We just know numbers now. It's become like statistics. It's sad to see this happening, and it's sad that it's bound to continue, I guess, for a few more months. But it's may hopefully after that it dies down a little bit. But it looks like there's really no solution yet. No side has decided or too much. It's like TNT. You can't really stop TNT being TNT. It blows up. It's just that's how the energy is here. What card did you get?
Okay, for the curse of this situation, it is the star upright for the curse of this situation. So I feel like there's a lot of illusory hopes. Maybe what the Israeli side and the Palestinian side is hoping for is actually a carrot on the stick or an illusion in kind of like a false hope. There's some diversion of people's energy away from um, a hope that will serve them. And so this lunar energy is again coming up. This
Yeah,
negative Piscean lunar energy of the negative side of the star. The star is a very positive card, but it came out in the
yeah.
curse section of the reading
You
here.
think fighting is a good thing, or that like this will bring the conclusion to what's been going on for decades? They think this is it right here. This is a solution, and that is you know, a curse, because this is all, it's all just chaos, destruction, and people, the ones fighting for each side, see this as like the end all be all, like the war, the end. Like they think that this, once they win, whichever side is fighting, once they win, this is all gonna end. But it's just not. Like, that's not how this whole thing has been going for decades, and it's just escalating, and the tension is just firing in all directions, and it it's just sad, honestly. Like, really, what it is. I mean, at the end of the day.
So, what else is about the blessing of this situation? I'm seeing, and this sounds really bad, but this is what came in, is that there is the four of pentacles. So there's a lot of earthly power is shifting. So a lot of maybe people, power players, are going to gain a lot of wealth, gain a lot more power through this situation, divide and conquer kind of energy. So I feel like the warmongering, powerful people are going to get some more power and wealth through the violence and death in the region. So, yeah.
And as another curse card, 10 of Wands, and like, so the rich will get richer and the poor will get poorer. I mean, as desolate as it sounds, that seems to be what's happening here, and it's just horrible. Like, you know, what's been going on there for decades now. It's just, it's really like, you hear about it all so much that it's almost like it's like it's like when you see the moon at night. Oh, there's the moon. You see a headline, oh, 10 dead at a bombing, and it's almost like expected, and it's horrible. It's just, but that's what, you know, we've become desensitized to the suffering that's going on in these areas. And what do you think is the solution here, if there is
I
any?
was just about to say that we're in sync. The solution, so the Four of Pentacles, the problem with it is there can be a stagnation. This is a blessing card, but the flip side of the blessing here is that there's a lack of creativity. We're not seeing, and it's due specifically to avarice or excessive devotion to the material. There's a lot of occult forces in the world that wish to occupy the Holy Land because of the occult powers that are there. So a lot of black magic energy, a lot of there's a lot of things. It's definitely a spiritual war. What's happening in that region? But I want to encourage everyone to break out of your pattern of thinking in regard to this. The solution to this is creative thinking, is seeing it from a new light, finding solutions that we didn't think are there. And for people that are struggling in that region or have loved ones there, I really recommend sit in a dark room, center yourself, feel all the pain, feel all of it, sit there until the light comes from within you and you see it through a new light, and you're rejuvenated. It's like many animals will, when they're depressed or going through things, they will sit quietly and just sit there and allow themselves to heal that way. So the solution is overcoming this compulsive and stubborn energy and stagnation energy with creative thinking, letting go of one's greed, letting go, because I think the powers that be are only there because the people under them have some part of their shadow has not been dealt with and put them in power. So before we blame people above us, we need to then look at our own shadow, and because they wouldn't be there unless the us or the people with less power manifested them from the shadow within. So see things from a different light is the energy here for the solution.
And also, for the solution, I got it's 8 of Pentacles in reverse. So in the upright position, we have someone who's hard at work and very focused and concentrated. And then in reverse, I feel like with this energy, it means it's what, like you said, stop what you're doing for a second, just stop and close your eyes, and, you know, instead of like taking the next step, firing the next missile, shooting the next bullet, just take a second to think about like what you're doing. And I know, you know, we're not there and we're not speaking with a speakerphone and we can't tell them what to do or how to act or behave, but the solution, we're just speculating here as to what can stop all of this. And it's a moment of thought and thinking, and to stop, you know, the momentum of this. Like, but it's not, I feel like what's gonna happen most likely is this, as it said, as it predicted, next few months, a lot of devastation, sadly, but ultimately I feel like, no war goes on forever, right? I mean, so there's gonna come a point where something happens, one part collapses and takes over, or maybe they arrive at a treaty of some kind. But either way, both sides are gonna stop and think for a second, and to like reflect, and to stop, turn off the roaring in their head, and listen to the silence, and find answers there. I think that's what this cards are saying.
I think let's give some people some hope. Let's ask for the silver lining in this situation,
Yeah.
because whatever must come down must go up, and vice versa. The slingshot is always released in the opposite place. So, what is the ultimate silver lining of this situation in the Holy Land?
Okay. I'll pull a card first and see what happens. We have Three of Cups in reverse. So, um, they, so upright, this is a card of friendship and like, um, you know, getting together, doing things together. So in the reverse position, it's about the splitting of, of like a deunionization of entities. So maybe that is something that needs to happen here, where there's a separation of some kind, or nations are splitting, or something of that nature. People are realizing where they really stand. If they stood with one side, they may no longer be standing with that side, because they want to stand for justice instead. Like, people are reforming their opinions and their minds on this topic, and kind of, they're going, instead of to other people for answers, they're looking within themselves. And it's maybe that's, I mean, it's a bit vague, but silver lining, I can't, it's hard to see how the Three of Cups in reverse comes into play. But what card did you get for that?
I got the Eight of Wands, so I feel like there's a lot of fire, and fire destroys, but it makes room for the old, or it makes room for the new to come at the expense of the old. So I think there's going to be a lot of new ideas that are flooded into people's minds that are going to be for success in the long run. It came out reversed, so it's going to be delayed. This is going to take a while for the silver lining fully to manifest here. It's not fully manifested now, but it's making way for this Mercurian and Sagittarius energy, this benevolent energy, this advancement of society. There's some advancement that's happening here, some eureka, some new ideas. So, like what I said before about the cards saying the creative thinking and the new thinking, that's actually going to happen. That actually is going to bring about a longing for knowledge. And actually, humanity, according to anthroposophy, is in the stage, we're moving into the stage of Mercury, from the stage of those negative Martian influences. And so the tarot is confirming that this is coming. And Jupiter is such a benevolent king. We're having this beautiful Mercurian Sagittarius energy that's all going to come out of this. There's going to be a boom of energy and ideas, and it's because the fire had destroyed the old. I mean, this is very sad that this is the way the fire works, but it's all for the best. It's all for the new. These things are working themselves out. The karma is working themselves out here. So,
Yeah.
and these ideas are going to be also put into. I feel they'll be put into reality. That'll be this silver lining, is this flow of life that'll come from the negativity. It will blossom.
You still have that card, the Eight of
Yeah.
Wands? Can you show it to me?
Reversed.
It's just basically a delay, yeah. So, as this would be the solution. It's just to wait it out. That's basically what it's saying. Wait it out, and or rather, the silver lining is wait. Once you wait this out, maybe this will be a turning point for that region that has been in this spiral kind of madness and terror and death for kids, maybe this will eventually slow down that all of that, because we're looking at region now through a microscope at the level that has not been looked at before since, you know, maybe the Iraq War, Afghanistan War, and now this is it's a new era of social media and the world being involved, that maybe it'll help get some of that movement slowed down in regards to destruction.
Yeah, I feel like it's bringing in the Mercurian age, which is the healing age. I feel like it's bringing this is all happening so that the new ideas and combustion and the fire can come for new things to go and be brought here. It's a card of high velocity and energy. So there's going to be a lot of energy in that silver lining, a lot of new thinking, a lot of development through all of that. So yeah. So thanks everyone who joined our beautiful reading here today. If you found our readings insightful or edifying, I want to encourage you to book a reading. You can book both of us, or you can book one of us. I'm going to put our information below so you can get a reading. Find out, why are you here? What is your purpose? We can answer. We can do astrology too. So bring it your best. Let us answer those questions you have, and find really, where are you on the map? Where are you in the map of the eternal? Where are you in the map of the divine? What is your what's your Atmakarka? What is your soul's purpose? Your Ammutin? What is the main energies, the bad karma that you're dealing with? We can find an objective and precise way of doing this through working with our psychic gifts, working with all of these different modalities, Kabbalah, and all of these things, which we spent a lot of time both doing. So we're both ENFPs, which are in many cultures around the world are like the shamans of the tribe. So we have this we're intuitive dominance in the psychology. So we have that innate aspect to help you see from a higher perspective what is happening in your life, and also instill a level of passion with the solutions. A lot of times you go to tarot readers and it's dry and cold, and you're not really getting solutions to your problems. We're sharing the cold hard facts, but from a place of empathy and fire and inspiration that will follow after it with practical advice. Do this, don't do this. You know, this is the remedy for that. So don't hesitate if you feel called to work with us. Sign up today. So everyone have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day, and let's definitely pray for the Holy Land. Let's pray for the people there and keep them in our hearts. Light a candle. Peace, everyone.
Peace.